The House of Representatives voted on a concurrent resolution denouncing the horrors of socialism. And you would think everybody would vote for it, right? No. You'd be wrong. 86 Democrats decided they weren't going to vote to denounce socialism. 14 Democrats decided they weren't going to vote on it altogether, just vote present. And then 3 Republicans and 3 Democrats weren't there to vote at all, or didn't show up for the vote. Yeah, crazy. The sponsor of today's video is Blackout Coffee. It's Valentine's Day, fast approaching. You can get 15% off everything in the store with code 15LOVE. From whole bean to ground to cake cups to flavored coffees, got over 30 flavors now. We have gift packs for Valentine's Day, hint, hint. We also have loose leaf tea if coffee is not your jam. And we have hot chocolate, several flavors of both of those as well. And of course, hats, swag, etc. Head over to blackoutcoffee.com/GNG. Link is in the description of every video. We are American in Florida, run by Americans, owned by Americans. Send coffee to our troops to support them, and we make the best coffee there is. Don't believe me? Give it a try. blackoutcoffee.com/GNG. All right, guys, I'm going to read you this resolution, and I'm going to show you who decided to support socialism. And here is HCon Res 9, denouncing the horrors of socialism. For those who don't know what a concurrent resolution is, it's how the chamber, whether it's the House or the Senate, it's how they change rules or express the sentiment of the chamber for the session. So the Republicans, now they're in power, they want to denounce socialism for obvious reasons. And it says, whereas socialist ideology necessitates a concentration of power that has time and time again collapsed into communist regimes, totalitarian rule, and brutal dictatorships. Whereas socialism has repeatedly led to famine and mass murders and the killing of over 100 million people worldwide. Whereas many of the greatest crimes in history were committed by socialist ideologues, including Vladimir Lenin, Joseph Stalin, Mao, Fidel, Pol Pot, Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un, Daniel Ortega, Hugo Chavez, and Nicolas Maduro. Whereas tens of millions died in the Bolshevik Revolution, at least 10 million people were sent to the gulags in the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, and millions more starved in the terror famine in Ukraine. Whereas between 15 million and 55 million people starved to death in the wake of famine and devastation caused by the Great Leap Forward in China. Whereas the socialist experiment in Cambodia led to the killing fields in which over 1 million people were gruesomely murdered. Whereas up to 3.5 million people have starved in North Korea, dividing a land of freedom from a land of destitution. Whereas the Castro regime in Cuba expropriated the land of Cuban farmers and the businesses of Cuban entrepreneurs, stealing their possessions and their livelihoods and exiling millions with nothing but the clothes on their back. Whereas the implementation of socialism in Venezuela has turned a once prosperous nation into a failed state with the world's highest rate of inflation. Whereas the author of the Declaration of Independence, President Thomas Jefferson, wrote, "To take from one because it is thought that his own industry and that of his fathers has acquired too much in order to spare to others who, or whose fathers have not exercised equal industry and skill, is to violate arbitrarily the first principle of association, the guarantee to every one of a free exercise of his industry and the fruits acquired by it." Whereas the father of the Constitution, President James Madison, wrote that it is not a just government, nor is property secure under it, where the property which a man has in his personal safety and personal liberty is violated by arbitrary seizures of one class of citizens for the service of the rest. And whereas the United States of America was founded on the belief in the sanctity of the individual, to which the collectivistic system of socialism in all of its forms is fundamentally and necessarily opposed, now therefore be it resolved by the House of Representatives, the Senate concurring, that Congress denounces socialism in all its forms and opposes the implementation of socialist policies in the United States of America. Passed the House of Representatives February 2nd of 2023. And if you're like me, you probably want to know who the hell would vote against this. Yeah, it's a political statement, and I've seen some back and forth between people on the side of the Democrat Party where they said, no matter how we vote on this, it's going to be used against us. And some caucuses, like the Progressive Caucus, they told their members, don't vote for this, doesn't matter either way. But either way, 86 people in the House of Representatives, 86 Democrats, voted for socialism, chose not to vote against it, chose not to denounce it. Here they are. Now, I'm not going to repeat all 86 of these people, but feel free to pause and look to see if your representative is one of the 86 ass clowns in the House of Representatives who decided they did not want to denounce socialism. Now I'll show you the 14 Democrats who voted present, as well as the 3 on each side of the aisle who did not vote at all. Well, guys and gals, a little bit different than a typical video that I do that is obviously focused on the Second Amendment, but if we can't get all of our representatives in the United States Congress to denounce socialism, then you might as well make sure you keep your Second Amendment and all the tools associated with it, because they might just one day want to play that hand of cards, and we'll be waiting with a smile on our face. Because the Second Amendment, guys and gals, was given to us by our creators. We didn't get it from these socialist wannabes, and they sure as hell can't take it back. And they're probably not tough enough to try it on their own. So if you're into the Second Amendment, then hit that like and subscribe buttons down below to support this channel. The more people that grow, the larger the voice gets, the more people get the information. So share the video as well. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.